I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you're joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Allison and, of course, your adorable calves, Louisa and Nyla. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. More than 40,000 teachers and 1 million students every year join the fun for free, thanks to our generous supporters like the United Dairy Industry of Michigan and Dairy Excellence Foundation. The Adopt a Cow and Discover Dairy programs are free online resources that cover Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while teaching dairy concepts in those lessons. Those resources can be found at discoverdairy.com, and we'll go ahead and put that in the chat for you to easily access. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year. So if you're interested in joining again, you can either go to discoverdairy.com/adopt and log in and re-enroll, or if you're new to the program, you'll go to that same website, discoverdairy.com/adopt, to go ahead and create an account and get started. Registration will open on May 1st, so less than 1 week away. You can go ahead and rejoin that fund for next year's school year. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you will see that that chat feature is enabled. Please feel free to go ahead and use that chat time to go ahead and comment, ask questions all throughout our time together. We do ask that you just keep those questions and comments related to our chat and school appropriate. We are so excited to hear from you, and I know Farmer Allison is excited to answer your questions. Before we go over to Farmer Allison, let's see who has joined us today. So first thing this morning, we had some folks from Deckerville Community Schools. So we're excited to have all of you and join us this morning. So hello and welcome. We've got some folks from Concord Elementary. Hello, we're excited to have you. Some folks from Standish Central Elementary. We've got more from Warren Woods Christian School in Warren, Michigan. Hello, hello, excited to have you all. Let's see, we've got Paw Paw Later Elementary, rooms 7 and 8 are excited to be here with Louisa. We are excited to have you too, so hello and welcome. And let's see, we've got some folks from Kalamazoo. We've got some folks from, let's keep looking down through here, from Standish. And we've got some folks from Zeeland, Michigan, who's a homeschool group. So awesome. We are so excited to have you all. Thank you for joining us. And without further ado, I am excited to introduce you to Farmer Allison. Hey, Farmer Allison, how are you doing today?
We're doing good, Brittany. We're super excited to have everyone here. So welcome to Jem-Lot Dairy. As you may have heard or remember from our first video, Jem-Lot Dairy is a 6th-generation dairy farm. I'm actually the 7th generation, and our farm was started in 1836. We are currently milking about 280 Holstein, Jersey, and Ayrshire cows, and then we raise about 250 heifers right here on the farm. We farm about 400 acres, mostly corn and soybeans, and all of that corn is chopped for feed for the cows. I guess moving right into our calves, we have up here for you guys today. We have them nice and close so that way you guys could see them. So awesome. We have little Nyla, who's a little Jersey.
Oh
She currently weighs about 400 pounds and is standing about 43 inches tall. She's a little bit more curious than Louisa in the back. Louisa's a little bit more shy. She's Holstein. She currently weighs about 600 pounds and is standing 47 inches tall. So they've grown quite a bit since our 6-month update. So
I was gonna say 600 pounds. I think she was just right over 475 last time. So she's grown a lot from our last update. That's amazing.
Yes, they have.
Oh my gosh, look at them. They are so darn cute. Now, are we in the pen that they typically live in? Is this where they're at in their stage of life right now?
So currently, no. So actually, we moved them in here to have a smaller pen just so that you guys can see them up close.
Mm-hmm.
So, and actually, normally they would be over here in this big pen, actually being fed some corn silage or TMR, which is a total mixed ration. So they get a little bit of chopped corn, a little bit of hay, and some ground corn so that they can continue to grow nice and big like they are now.
Gotcha. All right, so they're here with us, just hanging out so we could get a nice close look with them. And it looks like they're making some friends too with some other ones who are trying to release them off the halter. It looks like she's eating the halter. Now, just to help everyone understand, they're haltered, and that's a way that you as a farmer can help just handle the animals because, as we just mentioned, they are very big animals.
Yes.
And that's just something we can help use to walk them, to lead them, or to tie them up if we ever need to check in on them. And of course, for today, it's so we have them nearby so we can hang out with
Yep.
them a little bit closer.
Yep, they are not very happy about it because they don't get to be free cows right now. So we are going to let them off the we're going to let them off the halters here in a minute so that they can be free cows and kind of go about their normal daily business.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So, but just a curious question, a little bit about them. It's very obvious. One is brown, one is black and white. Can you talk a little bit about the difference in those two things?
Yep. So the brown one is actually called a Jersey. So they're actually the smallest dairy breed. So she will never grow quite as big as Louisa. Louisa's a Holstein, which is the second largest dairy breed. So right now she's only 600 pounds, but eventually when she's full grown, she'll weigh 1,400 pounds. And then
Mhm.
Nyla, the little Jersey, will only grow to be about 1,200 pounds. So they're going to
Wow.
grow quite a bit substantially yet as they continue to grow. Right now, they're only about 7 months old.
Oh my goodness. Very cool. So Miss Nyla is our cute little Jersey,
Yep.
and you said that other one is a black and white Holstein. Now, are there
Yep.
other breeds of cows other than these two? Because it looks like we're only seeing those two right now on your farm.
Correct. So we actually have 1.5 Ayrshires. So Ayrshires are
Oh,
kind of an in between the Jersey and the Holstein size wise, and then they're more of like a reddish and white color.
okay. Very cool. So you've got a couple other breeds,
Yep.
and they all, I'm sure, have their own personalities, right? And it looks like we've
Correct.
got some curious Holsteins here too, checking out our our adopted calf friends,
Yes.
hanging out with them. Oh my goodness. Now we've got our two girls here, and right now they look pretty, I mean, other than the fact that they're ready to go run, they look pretty happy and content. But how do you know as a farmer when a calf is happy and healthy versus maybe feeling under the weather?
So one of the big signs we look for is just their facial expression. Are their ears hanging down? Are they kind of lowering their head? As you can see from everybody else around them, everyone else's ears are perked up, their eyes are nice and bright. They're doing normal cow things. So that's what we look for is them doing their normal thing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, what happens if you notice a cow or a calf or a heifer isn't necessarily, isn't looking perky, or what do you do as a farmer to help care for that animal to help her feel better?
Yeah, absolutely. So just like people, you would go to see a doctor. So I went to college for that in a way. So I will go ahead and treat them and kind of give them medicine, hopefully help them make them feel better. We keep an eye on them in case they need more help, like electrolytes, kind of like Gatorade for people, just to help them kind of perk up and feel better.
Interesting. So let me just go back to that piece real quick. You mentioned that you went to school for farming or similar things to be able to be a vet. So what was your education in? And is that something that anyone could do to become a farmer, or do you need an education to be a farmer? Just talk a little about that and maybe like the future of being a dairy farmer if anyone's interested.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely anyone can do it. So I actually went to Michigan State and I got a degree in agribusiness management. And then they also have a 2-year technical course for people who want more hands-on experience. So that's where I got a lot of how to take care of cows was through that program. And absolutely anyone can do it for sure.
That is really cool. So, if we've got anybody in here that maybe really loves animals, has a passion for them, and maybe being a dairy farmer, someone like Farmer Allison, that could be their future. Very cool.
Yes,
Um, we've
absolutely.
we've got a couple of questions here, and I'll leave it up to you, Farmer Allison. Right now, they seem pretty chill. Whenever you want to take them off the halter and let them run, I'll leave that up to you. But I'll just start asking some questions from some of our classes. We've got some great questions coming in.
That's
So we have one was from Danielle Park, and they were asking what type of grain do you feed your cattle? And I think grain is maybe only in your younger calves, or if you include it in your older cows' TMR, what kind of grain is that?
Yep. So actually, so our younger calves that you saw Nyla and Louisa eating probably when they were probably within the first couple updates was a texturized feed. So it had corn and oats and pellets in there for them. But right now, and then as they got older, they were eating a completely formed pellet. So all of the minerals, nutrients, all of the corn, soybeans was all ground up so that they get one complete meal, kind of like eating a smoothie for people.
Very cool. All right, nice. Let's see. This is a good question. So, um, once the calves are finished with our Adopt a Cow program, and we stop following them for the year, will they get to still stay on your farm? What does their life look like then on your farm after this?
Yep, so they will stay here their entire life. So so they'll actually have a baby when they are 2 years old, and that's when they will enter our milking strength.
Very cool.
But they will stay here their entire life. Nobody leaves.
So, yep, just because we stopped following them through this program doesn't mean you guys just stop loving them. They are active parts of your farm, and you are definitely caring for them every day. Speaking of that, joining the milking herd, when will Nyla and Louisa join the milking herd? And can you just explain, how long is the pregnancy? What is that like for a heifer cow or a heifer calf?
Yep. So they will actually calve when they're 2 years old or 24 months. So right now they're only 7 months. So they've got a long ways to go before they have a baby. But just like a human, it's 9 gestation, or how long they're going to carry.
Is 9 months. Oh, I think we just glitched here a little bit, Farmer Allison. Darn rural service. There we
Oh,
go. Do I
oh,
have you back?
good. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Awesome. I think it just glitched for a second, but you were just saying how their gestation period is similar to humans, that it's 9 months. I'll let you continue.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, they will carry that calf for 9 months, and then they will it'll be born over in our other barn behind where they're currently at. And then those babies will stay here and they will grow up just the same. And the cycle
Oh,
repeats.
very cool. Now, this is another question that came in from a class. So they have that calf at 2 years old, and then you said they joined the milking herd, and then that calf is raised similarly to how our calves were grown this year. How many calves will a cow have in a lifetime, approximately?
Hmm. That's a good question. It does depend on the cow sometimes, but they can have anywhere between 2 or 3, closer to 6 or 7. We've got some of our oldest cows right now are on their probably 6th calf.
Wow. So if they're having their first calf around 2, then that means they're probably about what, 8 or 9, some of your older cows, if they've had
Yep.
close to 6 or 7 calves. That's awesome. And is that pretty average? Like, what would you say the average age for a cow is on your farm?
I would say the average age is close to 3 or 4.
Okay.
So they've had 2 or 3 calves.
Gotcha. Aw, and that's pretty normal. I mean, I would say for most cows, I've been told that every one cow year is about 10 human years. So they definitely mature much faster than we do, which just means their lifespan's much shorter than ours. I mean, think about it. They're walking
Correct.
within the first hour of birth, which is amazing. Very cool. Let's see. Oh, this is a good question we've got some kindergartners through 8th grade joining us from Warren Woods Christian School. And one of the questions that they had shared with us is how many people work on your farm? And does each worker have one job, or do you all do a variety of jobs?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have multiple people working here. So we have 3 or 4 full-time milkers. So they milk all of the cows and then they scrape the barn and kind of clean the parlor, make sure everything's sanitary and safe. And then actually my mom and my dad also work on the farm here. And we do a variety of jobs from either scraping barns or moving heifers around or feeding calves or bedding pens. There's a lot to do, so we all share the responsibilities.
Sure. I'm sure each one of you kind of specialize in certain things, like you mentioned, but everyone pitches in to make sure it all happens at some point. Yep.
Yes, yep, absolutely.
This is a good question that came in. So we talked about that you've got different breeds on your farm. We were
Mhm.
curious if the different breeds produce different kinds of milk. Does it taste different, or is one chocolate, one strawberry, one vanilla? Or what does that look like when they're producing the milk?
Yep. So everyone gives white milk, whether it's a Jersey or an Ayrshire Holstein, everyone gives white milk. However, the Jerseys are prone to having a higher butter fat. So that means that there's more fat in their milk. So it's better for making cheese and ice cream, whereas the Holsteins maybe don't have as much fat, but still makes delicious whole milk to find in the stores.
Gotcha.
And
So
as far,
that, oh, go ahead, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay, and then Holsteins will give a lot more milk than the Jerseys typically. Holsteins will
Mm,
produce around 80 pounds of milk or 10 gallons a day, and the Jerseys will only produce probably around 60 pounds of milk per day.
gotcha. Now you're talking about the milk production. So they go into the milking parlor, they let down their milk, and we'll talk about that in a second. Where does the milk go once that milk leaves your farm?
Yeah, absolutely. So most of our milk actually goes to a town called Ovid, where there's a milk plant there, and they turn most of it into powder whey. However, some of it does go to like Breyer's ice cream or Ben and Jerry's ice cream or
Ooh.
Talenti ice cream, that way. So, yep, we
Oh,
do. It goes to a little bit of everything.
oh my goodness. So you said two of my favorites, Breyers and Ben and Jerry's, are
Uh,
almost always in my freezer. So
I was gonna say Ben and Jerry's is always in mine too.
so it sounds like I could very well likely be drinking or eating ice cream made from the milk from your farm, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, Now, so you said jerseys are on average 60 pounds, like, and then Holsteins on our average around 80 pounds on your farm. What do you happen to know how much milk the mothers of Nyla and Louisa are producing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, Nyla's mom is producing around 65 pounds of milk, and Luisa's mom is producing around 75 pounds of milk.
Okay, so they're right around what, 8, 9 pounds or 8 to 9 gallons or so of milk,
Yep.
each one of them, and they're doing their part and contributing to the entire herd. Now, speaking of that, they're just one cow of the entire herd producing milk. Any idea how much milk your farm produces in one day?
Yeah, absolutely. So when the milkman comes to pick up the milk, he writes down how much is in each bulk tank. So we're producing around 24,000 pounds of milk per day, which is about 3,000 gallons of milk
Wow, a day. That's
a day.
amazing that you've got 3,000 gallons of milk leaving your farm every day. But hey, there's a lot of people in this world that we've got to feed, and I know dairy is one of my favorites. So I'm actively contributing to drinking at least like or consuming probably 2 to 3 gallons of milk a day or a week, at least between the cheese and the ice cream and the yogurt and everything else. So
Yeah, me too, me too. Butter is probably one of my favorite dairy products because you can put it
Ooh.
on toast or make cookies with it or cakes, or there's so much you can do with it. So butter is my favorite dairy product.
That's so true. Have you ever done one of those butter boards? That was a pretty popular thing over the holidays this year. I don't know if you've tried that
No,
yet.
I have not tried it yet, but it might be something I have to.
Right? Exactly. Let's see. We have a question. Some folks were curious if Louisa or Nyla have any siblings. Do you know if they have any half siblings on the
Um,
farm or anything, or full siblings?
so yep, so Louisa's mom was actually a first calf heifer, so she is Eve's first daughter. So Louisa
Gotcha.
does not have any siblings yet, but her mom is pregnant. Um,
Oh.
and then Nyla does have other siblings here. So I don't know if you can see on Raylan's tag, she has a name there. Any jersey with an N name is related to Nyla, and there are several in here
Aw.
somewhere.
Oh,
Too
that's
many
cool.
to count.
Right?
Yep.
Because they all end up kind of coming from one cow somewhere back further in the generations, and then they kind of all become cousins or parts of the family. Now, do they know they're related? Like, do they? Can they? Like, we know who our aunts and uncles are and stuff, but do cows sense that at all?
Yeah, sometimes they do. There are certain cows that we always see together in the parlor, or they're always standing next to each other at the bunk to eat. I know that Louisa likes to hang out with 2307. It's another heifer in the pen next to us. That seems to be one of her best friends.
Aw.
And Nyla tends to hang out with the other jerseys.
They like to hang out with the people that are like or with the cows that are like them, right? Maybe if one's
Yes.
a little bit nosier, they're gonna hang out with the other ones that are gonna be curious and nosy. Goodness.
Right.
Oh, and that's funny. We actually had a question come from Miss Eva. They were saying, do cows have their own language? Like, do you know what she needs by when she moves, or how do you help interpret what a cow needs at any given point?
Yeah, so cows do have their own kind of language. I do not fully understand their language, but we can kind of pick up just like humans, kind of reading their body language, kind of their moves will change versus when they're scared or versus when they have a new calf and they're loving on it, their moves will change. So I
Hmm.
can't exactly understand what they're saying, but I'll take my best guess at it. So yes, they
Yeah.
do have their own kind of language.
Right. I think anyone that has had cows out before, some that get curious and the cows get out, I feel like that moo is a very different moo. I've heard farmers say that before, that when you hear a certain moo, you're like, oh no, that means a cow got out because
Oh,
somebody's
it's
notifying you or
Yep, it's a very excited, very loud moo for sure.
they can be persnickety sometimes, right?
Yes.
Oh, this is a cute one. This is from let's see. This is from oh no, they're asking about an artist. They were wondering if cows listen to music at all, and they were asking about a specific artist, Olivia Rodrigo. But do you happen to know if cows listen to music?
Yeah, we do play music in our parlor when the cows are getting milked sometimes.
Oh.
They seem to prefer country music, but I haven't done a scientific study on that one
Right.
yet.
That's funny. Too cute. So I'm gonna jump back to that milking process on your farm. Someone was asking if your farm is a robotic farm. So do you mind just talking about what that actual milking process is like from the time they walk in to the time they walk out?
Yeah, absolutely. So, nope, we are not a robotic facility here. We have a regular standard parlor. So,
Mhm.
the cows will come into the parlor. The employees will dust any extra sand or dirt off their teats, and they will go through and then pre-dip them with an iodine solution to help kind of kill any bacteria. And then they come back through and they strip out the first 2 or 3 squirts of milk to get any high bacteria count milk out of their udder first, and then they will pre-dip them again with that or not antibiotic, but antimicrobial solution. And then they'll come through and wipe them all off so that they're nice and dry. And then they'll attach those milkers. And then the milkers are on for about 5 to 8 minutes. And then once the cow is done milking, those milkers automatically know when to come off. And then the cows get a post-dip solution. So again, to help kill any bacteria, keep any bacteria from getting inside their udders. And then they go back out to the barn where they can eat and socialize and drink water and do normal cow things.
Interesting. So it sounds like a very short process for these ladies, and then the rest of the 23 some hours of the day, they're just hanging out, eating, drinking, chilling, hanging out with their friends, getting some scratches like we're seeing right now as
Yes.
as Farmer Allison hangs out with them. Now, what does that milking actually feel like for a cow? Is it relaxing for them? Just can you explain maybe try to explain what that feeling is like for a cow?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's absolutely relaxing for them because if you think about it, that 80 pounds of milk has to be stored somewhere. So that can get extremely uncomfortable for them. So once they're able to let that milk out and kind of just relax, it takes a lot of weight off of them. So yes, it's definitely a relaxing process for them.
Very cool. And I think I've been told before, correct me if I'm wrong, Farmer Allison, but it's kind of just like if like you were to put your finger in like a vacuum hose, like any vacuum that's in your house, it kind of just feels like that. It's like a light suction, not painful in any way, just a light, relaxing experience. Is that correct?
Yep, exactly. It's just like putting your finger in a vacuum, except it's not straight vacuum. So actually it
Right.
fluctuates. So it's an open and close. So it's never just straight vacuum on their teeth. They have an open period where it's relaxed and a closed period. Closed is relaxed, and then when it's open, that's when the vacuum is. But sometimes it's closed to help them kind of relax and let that milk down. So it's never straight vacuum.
Interesting. Very cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
We had a question from Miss Wyla. They're wondering, do you have any other animals on your farm?
So nope, we do not currently have any other animals on our farm. Just my farm dog. His name is Chief. He's running around here somewhere. He likes to chase cows, and he likes to be the farm dog.
I love that. I'm sure he's a big help on the farm to help keep the cows in
Yes,
line.
he
So,
is. Yep.
um, so we talked a little bit about what our adopted calves are eating, and they're eating a mixed feed right now. And but how much food does a full grown cow eat a day?
Yeah, absolutely. So a full-grown cow will eat um 20 to 30 pounds of corn silage a day. And then they will drink a whole bathtub full of water, about 50 gallons.
Wow. Oh my goodness,
So
that sounds like a lot of food.
they need a lot of food to produce a lot of milk, though.
Right. That's true. If they're producing that much milk, then they're gonna need that good nutrition and lots of water, right? Because water is a good, or milk is a good percentage of water, so they need to drink lots of water.
Correct.
Let's see. I'm gonna try and grab one or two more questions here from some classes. Oh, this is a great question. A number of people were asking, what are the tags in their ears, and can you talk about what they're for and how did they get there?
Yep. So each tag is their own individual number so that we know who they are. On the Holsteins, you know that you can probably see there's a handwritten number above the printed tag number,
Uh-huh.
and that's actually their mom's number. So
Gotcha.
if we're ever questioning if we like her or not, we can look at her mom's number and be like, oh yeah, her mom was a good cow. So um,
Gotcha.
you will stay here. Yep. So it's just their own individual identifier.
Cool. So I'm sure you got a lot of animals on your farm to keep track of. So, and they all definitely have very similar markings. They're never the same, but I'm sure that can get confusing to remember who is who. So those tags are ways to help you know who is who, and
Yep.
keep them all straight.
Yep. And then we
Very cool.
also actually use an electronic system. So if I wanted to look up 23, 26 here, I could put that in my phone on an app, and then it will actually pull up and tell me who her mom is, when she was born, um, all sorts of fun facts about her. So
Oh,
that's
that's
also another
cool.
way that we help keep track of who's who.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat. So a really cool level of technology that you as farmers get to use to help manage all of your cows and make sure everyone is accounted for and happy and healthy. And I'm sure that helps you track if anyone was unwell at some point. I'm sure you've got that documented or tracked somehow so you know how to help handle them, just like we all have our own health charts with our own doctors. So
Yeah.
same thing.
Yep. Exactly.
Very cool. Let's see. I'm gonna try and do one. Oh, this is a good question. This one's actually pointed towards you, Farmer Allison. They were wondering, what does your workday look like? When do you start and when do you finish on the farm?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually start very early in the morning. So my day starts at 4 a.m. Um,
Ooh,
and it starts with checking all the new mamas out, make sure everyone's feeling okay. And then I move groups to and from the parlor to be milked, and I scrape the alleys. And then once I've finished with that, I'll come out and help my mom feed calves. We'll move heifers, or if these guys need fresh bedding, we'll pitch down fresh bedding. And then I usually finish around 10 a.m. And then I come back at 4 p.m. To help milk and scrape again.
wow. So it just kind of keeps going, but it sounds like you start your day pretty early and then come back to the farm
Yes.
and do some more farm chores. Awesome. So, Farmer Allison, we talked a little bit about today what you do as a farmer to make sure these animals are well cared for. We talked about how you know when they're healthy, when they need some attention. We talked about what they're eating, drinking, how you keep them clean. Just so many things that we talked about on how to care for a cow. And we just talked about what your day looks like, which sounds like a long day. It's awesome, and we love what you to hear about what you do, but it does sound like a lot of work. So, Farmer Allison, I'm just curious, what's your why? Why do you choose to do this every day and take care of cows, and why did you choose this as your career in life?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very rewarding. I love raising a new calf, um, all the way up, seeing her grow, and then watching her milk and have babies of her own. And I enjoy working with my family too. That's probably one of the biggest perks of my job. So
Oh,
I love working with animals and I love working with my family. So that's why I work here full time
yeah.
now.
Oh, I love that. And before we tune off today, can you remind us one more time which one was Louisa and which one was Nyla? That way we can get one more good look at them.
Yep.
Hopefully they didn't disappear on us in the back.
Nope, Nyla's kind of hanging out right here. She's gonna come up and say goodbye. She's like, "Thank you for
Nyla.
following my journey."
Yeah.
And and then Louisa's kind of hanging out in the back of the pen. She's kind of along the gate back here. I don't know if you guys can see her. She's got kind of her butt to us.
Oh, she's under the okay, under the roof there. Okay.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Gotcha.
So she's hanging out.
Aw.
Would you like me
Aw.
to walk her up here so you guys can see her one more
Maybe,
time?
yeah, if you're able to, if she's able to come up, I know she's enjoying her time hanging out and
Yeah.
relaxing with it. Maybe the rest of them will end up pushing her back. But yeah, they've been so much fun to follow and watch this year. And if we're able to get one more glimpse of them before we tune off today, that would be awesome. While you're doing that, Farmer Allison, I just want to say thank you so much for letting us follow along these girls this year and sharing them with us and letting us just get to learn about them and kind of just take this step on your farm today. It's been a lot of fun getting to see what they do every day, which honestly looks pretty relaxing. They kind of just chill and hang out and eat and drink and hang out with their friends. So that sounds like a pretty great life to me. So thank you so much for just taking such great care of them. They look like they're really enjoying their time here at their farm, at your farm. Looks like they're just gonna
Yeah.
go and hang out back there. But
Yeah, yep. She says I'm done for today. Thanks though.
right, no problem. Barbara Allison, anything else you wanted to share with us before we tune off today?
No, absolutely. Thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. It's been a super rewarding experience, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So thank you
Oh,
again to you guys too.
awesome. Absolutely. Thank you all so much for doing this. And also for anyone that's joining us today, don't forget to sign up starting May 1st if you had fun this year. We are excited to have you back and
Mhm.
follow along with some returning farms, some new farms, and of course, new calves born in September. So we're excited to have you and have you join the fun. Take care, everybody, and have a great summer.